Welcome to the Afternoon Book Club. Life has plenty of lessons, and as technology evolves, those lessons are evolving too. In Locked Up Lessons Learned for a Real-World Lockbit Ransomware Response, leaders learn how a major university squared off against one of the world's most infamous ransomware groups. Essentially, we're learning ways you can protect yourself against ransomware attacks. We are so happy to have the book's author, Zach Lewis, in the studio with us today. How are you, sir?
I'm great, Jeffrey. Thanks for having me.
And thank you so much for taking the time to be here. To anybody who may not know you, what exactly is your role?
So I serve as the CIO and CISO for the University of Health Sciences and Pharmacy, meaning I'm overall IT and security.
Yeah, so this is really your area of expertise. Whenever we talk about why you wrote a book like this, why did you?
I wrote a book because ransomware is becoming a part of everyday sort of society, and organizations are faced with that every year and growing attacks each year. And I wanted to really make a roadmap to help people kind of guide their way through it and help them out and make the industry a safer place.
Sure, and making someplace safer, especially in the online world, how important is that?
Incredibly. I mean, that's where all of our most critical and sensitive data are. Health records, student records, financial information. We really want to keep that stuff secure.
And whenever we talk about what I mentioned a little bit earlier, protecting a university from a major ransomware attack, what does something like that actually look like? You see it in movies, but actually seeing it in real life, what is that like?
It's hard, right? It's incredibly hard and very stressful. You have thousands of students, you have lots of employees, and you really want to make sure their information is kind of kept safe. You want to make sure they can come and learn and take their courses and everything. But when ransomware sort of attacks, that's all shut down. So a lot of work on the back end trying to get systems running and making sure people are getting the value that they're there for.
So I know some folks may be watching and they're like, well, I'm not a major university. I just have a house with a computer. That can happen to them as well. What are some of the signs to look for?
Yeah, definitely. So entry point for threat actors is usually email. Suspicious links in emails that people click on, try to access stuff, information they're sharing, weak passwords. We see this happening with small businesses, hospitals, schools, small local governments. Anyone is sort of susceptible to this.
And really, what was the big why? Why did you choose to really put a focus on this topic?
Yeah, there's just not a lot of resources out there for people to sort of learn from and protect themselves. And I wanted to give this roadmap because I don't think people understand how stressful and hard it is sort of recovering from this sort of attack. So giving them that guidance, that how-to really helps them sort of make their way through it a little bit more successfully.
What does that process look like going through the ransomware attacks?
Yeah, it's incredibly stressful. Lots of hours go into it, a lot of work, a lot of people you're having to pull in and sort of coordinate with. You're looking at how did the bad guys get in, how do we recover and make sure they don't come back in, and really making sure you get that data back without having to pay millions of dollars for it in some cases.
And also on the rise right now, we're talking about, we have elder scams, we have all kinds of people having all these horrible things happen to them. If they give your book a read, these are going to be skills that they can put in place to make an impact in their own life.
Absolutely. We have a whole lessons learned area talking about putting on multi-factor authentication, changing passwords, not clicking certain links, resources that you can reach out to for help. So a lot of good tips and tricks in there for sure.
Well, we appreciate you taking the time to be here on Heartland Afternoon and being a part of the Afternoon Book Club. Thank you, Zach.
Awesome. Thanks, Jeffrey.
All right, we're going to have a link to the book available on the website following the show. We'll see you back here in just a few more minutes with more of your Heartland Afternoon.